don't give in. Yeah. Miles and miles you will have been.
Well, hello everybody, it's Suffolk Andy here, and I'm not in Suffolk, I'm in Essex. I'm on the Essex and Suffolk border. I thought I'd show you this. You know I love my churches, but this one's a little bit special. Beautiful little place, but I'm just going to show you a little bit inside because it's got something special in here that I haven't seen in a lot of churches. So we'll make our way over. Big old gravestones for the gentry. No names on them, so you don't know who's here, but what a beautiful spot. Absolutely gorgeous. Sheep. We got sheep. Just a beautiful spot. So I've never been here, and I just stopped just to have a look inside this old church myself and was astonished what I see. Because if you're into architecture and carvings and stuff like that, this is the dog's bollocks, I tell you, this one. So anyway, we make our way in. Right, here we go. This part of the church is nothing special at all. You can see it's just been ripped out, but it's not this part that's impressive. It's this part. Look at that. Beautiful carvings. Now you can see bits and pieces like here being knocked off. I would bet that the Puritans turned up here and give it a bit of a hiding, knocking stuff off and destroying it. That's what that's all about, I would imagine. You can see most of it has been broken. They hit them with hammers and broke them off because it's too Catholic. This would have been absolutely something else to a Puritan. They'd have gone wild in here because this was just too much popery. The window there is definitely Victorian. You can see that's a Victorian window. But some very, very old plaques for graves, people who were buried under the floor and whatever. 1584. That one's not so bad. 1865. 1814. But these are old ones here, 1795, in a bit of old English. You can read, just about read it, if you know your English. So yeah, so I thought I'd show you that. Old gravestones, people buried under here. So what a place, eh? I don't want to become a church man and showing you inside churches all the time, but this one just did struck me as something a little bit special at this end of this church. It is very, very nice. It's St Mary the Virgin at Lawford. The little church I went to, the little haunted church, I had quite a shock on that one because when I got home I decided to just find out a little bit more about it, and turned out that little church in the middle of nowhere near Hadley was absolutely crammed with history, and big history too. Turned out that people who actually founded America came from that area. Now they always talk about the Pilgrim Fathers and all that sort of stuff. These people went over to America and started a colony up at Jamestown way before those. And the story goes is, a few years back, American archaeologists dug up a body. And it's quite obvious that this person had been buried with a bit of ceremony, a bit better than the usual person over there. So they thought he was the guy who started Jamestown. Well, they didn't know how to sort it out. So they took some DNA off the skeleton and they got some good DNA. But of course this guy died hundreds of years ago. So they looked for people they thought were family. They had the name of the guy. I can't remember the name of the guy. John somebody, Godswold or something. I might have got that wrong. Terrible with names. But anyway, they found out that he had a cousin who was buried in that little church under the floor. So they got permission about a year ago, took up the tiles, made a little hole in the coffin, what was still left, and took some DNA off the body, and it matched. So they knew this body was the guy who started the first colony in America in Jamestown before the Pilgrim Fathers. So, unbelievable story. So I'm going to make my way back now to Ipswich. Great old day here in Suffolk, but not complaining, it's not even cold. Whoa! What a fucking knob! The bloke was indicating to go that way. The bloke was indicating to go that way, and the other one was so desperate to get in front of him. Oh, I wish I could have got down the road. Look, see what they're going to do. They'll probably have a little bit of road rage there, won't they? I know one or two of my subscribers like the old insider churches, and I know Old Bratt Rider in America, he loves it because he loves all the carvings and all that sort of stuff and the history. So that one's for you, mate. One of my Canadian subscribers said, you know, I'd love to come for a ride with you, Andy. And maybe that's why, you know, us vloggers, you know, can show each other what our places are like, where we live, you know. And it's good, you know. I'd love to ride in America, I'd love to ride in Canada, I'd love to ride in Australia and New Zealand and all the rest, but I can't and I never will. But these guys and girls can show me, and that's the good thing about it, you know. They can show me these places, show me these beautiful sceneries and exotic places that an old boy from Suffolk is never ever gonna see, you know. Brilliant, love it. You know, I'm riding now in the Deben Vale, as they call it, a heritage site, this whole area. We've talked about it loads of times, you know, Constable Country. I love it, I love it. You know, and I never get fed up of riding it, you know. Every time I ride these roads, I enjoy it. Doesn't matter what the weather's like, if it's cold, wet, you know. I just love these roads. Yeah, they're busy, they're small, some of them. There's always something to see, you know, always something to look at. And I really do love this area. I really feel quite privileged, really, in a way, to live in such a beautiful part of the world. But I still get that inkling, you know, to go other places and ride other places, but as we know, that unfortunately that doesn't work that way. It's a little old cemetery that we looked at with all the priests. We didn't know what it was, all the little priests and nuns. We were out this way last time. The point is, everybody says Suffolk is bloody church mad, but at the end of the day I can't get away from them. They're everywhere. They must have been the most religious people in the world here in Suffolk, I think. There's a church around every frigging corner, and they're all different. And it's not that I'm into that religion anyway, because I'm not. As most people know, I'm a spiritualist, and Orthodox religion is a bit of a turn off to me, I'm afraid. But I still love the places, they, you know, and you think about the people who built them and people who worshipped into them, and they're all buried in these graveyards. And do you know, I would love to know what they were like, you know, what sort of people they were like in their day. I just love people, you know, that's the main thing. People are special, you know, and you ain't got to love everybody, and you haven't got to, you know, like everybody. But there's always a saying that I was told, that when you meet somebody for the first time, treat them the best you can. And the next time you meet them, treat them like they treated you. So in other words, if somebody treats you very, very good, treat them good next time. They treat you like a piece of shit, Treat them like a piece of shit. Never let anybody take advantage of your good self and your good being. Never let that happen. Always be fair, square. Treat people with respect. Treat them like you'd like to be treated yourself, but don't let them take advantage of your spiritual self. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sort of philosophical now, aren't I? Philosophical. So I think that's enough from me. All ride safe. Love each other. Suffolk Andy.